All right, Deadlights, here we go. We are coming up on the halfway point of it. Welcome to Derry, and the clown has arrived. Are we going to see Pennywise in the flesh in episode 4, the great swirling apparatus of our planet's function? Or are we going to wait another week? I think we're waiting another week. This is the pregame show. My name is James. Let's talk about it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Digital Charcuterie. My name is James. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to the channel and a fan of it, welcome to Derry. Hit that subscribe button. I talk about it and discuss it with you all the time right here on the channel. I'm loving the show. I'm having a blast with it. I think it's so much fun. It's not as scary as I expected it to be, but I'm really enjoying it. Now I'm like in these new kids, the new Losers Club, the third loser. They're the new kids, and we're following them, and I'm really liking these kids. I think they're doing a great job in the acting department too. These kids, just for child actors, I'm like, yeah, you guys are bringing it every week, and I'm really enjoying it. And last week, it was kind of crazy. Episode 3 promising, we're going to take a picture of the spirit that killed the kids in the Capitol Theater. What is going on? And they got the photos. They got some wild, weird, zany photos, and one of them, of course, is a clown. Is that a clown? And they're going to present these to the police. Now, of course, before I go any further, I gotta say, and I should have said earlier, pause this video if you have not seen In Welcome to Derry episodes 1 through 3, because I will be talking about it and doing spoilers for these episodes. So you gotta hit that pause button before I go any further, because there will be spoilers ahead. So anyway, they're going to present the evidence that they got to the cops. They're just going to take it to the cops, and Bowers is going to be like, I don't, don't meddle in our affairs. That's what he's going to tell them. We've seen that in the trailers. I'm paraphrasing, of course, and they're going to have to go out. The official synopsis reads, after their efforts are rejected by Chief Bowers, the kids must deal with their disappointment and a series of increasingly terrifying experiences. Meanwhile, as General Shaw escalates his efforts to find answers, Charlotte tries to advocate for a reluctant Hank who worries his secret will get out. Urged on by the patty cakes, Marge pulls a mean-spirited prank on Lily. So let's look at this in the 4 parts that we've got. There are 4 parts to this episode that they're letting us know. I'm assuming, you should never assume anything, but I'm guessing that there will be more than just these 4 storylines going on. Well, there are 4 storylines, but there's going to be more going on. Obviously, we see in the trailer for this episode, we've got Dick Halloran with Taniel in there. He's going to enter his mind, which has to do with Shaw and all that, but he's going to enter Taniel's mind, and he's going to learn things. And that's why I think we're going to get Pennywise himself in episode 5. I think, and I've been saying this since day 1, but I think episode 4 is going to be a huge build-up. There's going to be a lot of jump scares in this one, and episode 5 is when that clown is going to come to town and terrorize everybody. But I think right now, with the first little bit here, after their efforts are rejected by Chief Bowers, the kids must deal with their disappointment, which I think that's self-explanatory. There's not much. They're going to have to deal with it. Probably going to have conversations like, you know what, we can't win. The adults won't believe us, but, there's be that kind of stuff because they're kids. But the second part of this, and a series of increasingly terrifying experiences, and we know from the trailer again, that Will is going to go fishing with Leroy, with his father, and he's going to get pulled into the water by some demon body thing. He's going to pull him into the water, and you suspect that things are going to happen with other kids. Rich, perhaps, are going to experience things as well. We already know that Lily and Ronnie have had some instances with it itself. So now it's Will and Rich's turn, and we don't know what's coming for Rich. That's we don't know what's coming for Rich. We know kind of what's coming for Will, and I think the instance with Will is really going to push Leroy's story forward, where again in the trailer when he says what's going on with Dick, what are you getting him to sense what is going on here? I think this is it's all going to start to add up to Leroy. He's going to have an understanding of that there's something beyond physics, beyond sanity going on within Derry, and it's all gonna start to piece itself together for Leroy. And this is, we know Mike Hamlin said that his dad believed there's an evil in Derry and all that, and this is where it's gonna all come from. Is gonna come from these moments. Now we're seeing the setup for the payoff that comes, all these 27 years down the road. We're getting those payoffs now, so we're gonna see a lot more scares there, and I'm excited to see what forms it is going to take when he starts attacking the kids once again. I want to just jump to the end of this one now. We'll deal with the military stuff in a little bit, but now we have Marge is going to pull a mean-spirited prank for the patty cakes. She's going to try to fit in further with the patty cakes, which she's been trying to do all season long. And as a result, she's going to pull a mean-spirited prank. And that, I suspect, now there is talk, I've seen some people mention it, that you can see the deadlights in her eyes at a certain point in her glasses, like a reflection in her glasses in a previous episode. So shout out to that. But I'm wondering, if this prank that she's pulling off is now going to get the attention of Pennywise, and we see her looking in the mirror. Her glasses are going to fall. We know from the Weeks Ahead trailer that she's going to have an eye patch on. Is this where we're getting for that? I don't think Marge is going to make it out of this season alive. I think they're showing her doing mean-spirited things, acting like a bully to Lily, even though, she's acting like a bully because of peer pressure and whatnot, but she's still acting like a bully. And I think they're showing you that so that when her time comes, we're kind of like, she deserved it. Even though, it's going to be tough. But I think they're going to go to that. I think we're going to get this. But I think the events of Marge, the bullying of Marge, the peer pressure that she's enduring, I think all of that is going to culminate in Pennywise coming for her and attacking her, and that's how he's going to approach her. And I'm really curious what form that's going to be, because she obviously has a complexion about her eyes, right? We know that from the first episode, she brought that up. So that's what he's going to target, obviously, is going to be her eyes, and we know from the passion that's coming, whether it's this episode or not. I think it's going to be this episode. I think, they show the glasses fall in this one. I think it'll be maybe towards the end. The way that they're listing this here on the description is that's the last plot line that they're giving out, and this is from HBO Max itself. They're giving that as the last thread of story. So that could be one of the final things that happen in this episode before, the finale of whatever. I think where it's going to end will be the Neibolt house. I think that's going to be like the last shot or something. It will be the Neibolt house. That's where I think we're going to get at the end of this episode, but we're going to have to get there first. And I think this is going to be the last scare before we get to this is where it's all coming from. And I think Dick Halloran's going to find that out. Leroy's going to get that through Dick, and we're going to get to the Neibolt house from there. Meanwhile, as General Shaw escalates his efforts to find answers, Charlotte tries to advocate for a reluctant Hank. So we see Charlotte, and we know that she is an activist, and she is going to try desperately to get Hank out of the situation. And I got to give a shout out to Jay, the informant, for bringing this up to my attention, and I 100% believe that this is going to be the case, and that Hank was with a white woman that night, and that is why he cannot come clean. I think it's going to be that he was with a white woman, and that is why this information cannot get out. This will not be taken lightly by anybody, and this can't get out. Where Charlotte, he can trust Charlotte. Charlotte will be understanding of all this, I think, but he does not want that information out. So I'm with Jay, the informant, on this one. I think it is going to be a white woman, and that's going to be the cause for secrecy in this situation, but she's going to be trying to get him out, and we know, again, like, she's an advocate and she fights for the cause, and she's going to do all she can to get Hank out. But now there's Shaw. Now we know Shaw was in Derry in 1908. He has been in Derry 50 years ago. He was in Derry. He knows Rose. There's a connection there. He's delving deeper and deeper and deeper back into this hell of a life that he had, that he forgot all about, because once you leave Derry, you forget about Derry, and Shaw showed us that last week. But now he's going to be pushing closer and closer, and he wants Pennywise. And I think, much like Marge, I think Shaw is going to have a really bad ending. I think he's going to have possibly the worst ending of anybody in this series, even though he seems kind of genuine, but he's trying to weaponize Pennywise. Now the question is it just going to be Pennywise? What do they know about it? Like, how much does he know about it? He saw it as a one-eyed man when he was a child. It came and attacked him with the mouth stuff. Like, how much does he know? And at what point, and this is what I mean here, because I thought we were going to get this last week, but at what point do we meet Bob Gray? And this is, Skarsgård agreed to come back because he loved the idea of fleshing this character out, this persona out. Who is Robert Gray? And I think before we get to Pennywise, we're going to get some Robert Gray. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be that episode, like if we're going to get that here or in next week's, where I think next week is going to have a lot to do with the Neibolt house, and we might get a lot of Rob Gray next week. But I think Bob Gray this week is a very, very strong possibility of arriving and getting our first glimpse into this character, and maybe a tad bit of understanding of who and what Bob Gray is. Lily is going to do some investigating as I start to get afraid, and we know that she sees a book with Bob Gray and a young girl? And is that young girl the girl that we see in the clown makeup from last episode? There's so many questions I can't wait to get answered. I'm looking forward to this episode 4. I can't wait. I'll have my review of it immediately followed. Well, immediately followed. Once I watch it, I review it, and then I upload it. That's how I do it. And I'm really looking forward to it. There's so many questions. And again, for me, it's like, I think it could do better in being a horror show and scary. But I'm having fun. I mean, it's still kind of scary, but I'm having fun. It's not keeping me up at night like I thought it might when I first started these videos before it came out. I was like, oh, this is going to be terrifying. I think some of the CG has kind of taken me out. It's been a little goofy and whatnot, but it's been so much fun that I'm not even complaining about it, because I'm almost kind of glad that I'm not terrified watching it. But I can't wait. There's so much that's going to happen, I think, in this episode. I think next week, though, I think episode 5 is when we get Pennywise. But like I said, I've been saying that since day one. I think it's going to be episode 5. And I think episode 5, I think it's going to hit the fan next week. I think this one, you're going to see a lot. I think there's going to be a lot of freaky stuff. I think the Marge stuff with the kids, all that. But this is going to be like the bottom of the muffin. Does that make sense? The bottom of the muffin, and next week's going to be the top. And maybe the week after is the icing. I don't know. But I think this is good. You're like, this is a treat. But that next layer, man, that's what's gonna drive us home. I can't wait. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what comes to play here, what comes to pass. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you expect to happen from episode 4 of It Welcome to Derry, the great swirling apparatus of our planet's function? What a title. What a title. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Have you been liking this series? Thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate your time. Hit the like button, subscribe. And until next time, may be the master of your own universe.